I would like a mix of both because I would eat him up and swallow him and spit him out if he was too nice.
What's up, guys? As a former nice guy, I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with being nice. It can actually be a very attractive trait. If you're just trying to be a horrible person, it's not a very good long-term strategy to be good with women. But there is a difference between being nice and being a nice guy. If you're a nice guy, then there are definitely things you are doing that are ruining your chances with women. There are behaviors and mindsets you have adopted over time that are gonna absolutely repel any woman you speak to, and you might not even realize it. If you wanna make sure that you can have the dating life of your dreams, you're going to have to make sure you don't have any of these nice guy behaviors and mindsets. So watch this video very carefully and see if you're making any of these mistakes so you can correct them immediately. So you can come off as that attractive man that can also be nice. My name's Marcus, I'm an international dating and sex coach, and each week I'm gonna teach you how to be the best man you can be in and out of the bedroom so you can start attracting the types of girls you've always wanted and deserved. So what exactly is a nice guy? Well, a nice guy is usually someone that isn't actually that nice. They have a negative view of themselves and women, so they try to make up for it by pleasing others. And when that doesn't work, they become very resentful and blame everyone else around them and not themselves. This also stems from a warped view they have of women and what they actually desire. They see them as these innocent creatures that aren't actually looking for sex. They think that they're just nice, sweet, and friendly, and they just want someone that will do things for them. So right now, I'm gonna give you the nice guy quiz. I'm gonna go through 7 behaviors and mindsets that most guys make the mistake of doing or having, but all nice guys have. So take the quiz and see which ones resonate with you, and then also how to correct them right away so that you can be a better version of yourself, you can totally accept who you are, and you can make sure that you're not demonstrating any of these nice guy behaviors again. So the first one is that you seek approval and try to be liked because you don't think women will inherently like you for who you are. So this takes the form of compliments and agreeing to everything the girl fucking says and suppressing your own views and what you like and dislike. The thing is, girls are so fucking sick of this. It's what every guy tries to do. They try to replicate this idea of like chemistry and we have so much in common, but all the girl can think is so fucking boring. It's what every guy does. You know, what music do you like? Oh, I love that music too. Where do you like to travel? Oh, I love that too. At the end of the day, it's just boring and it shows a real lack of self-worth and assertiveness when you just act like a doormat. So instead, stop seeking validation. Once you understand your own worth and are self-validated from within, you'll stop searching for it everywhere else. That moment you actually start respecting yourself, you cultivate this idea of self-love, is a moment when no one will have emotional control over you. So start by bringing your personality forward and feel free to disagree. Do not be scared to break rapport. Even, look, work on trying to find things you can disagree on. Play devil's advocate. So for example, if you ask, okay, where's your favorite place you traveled? And she says Italy, even if you kind of like Italy, play devil's advocate. Really? What do you like about Italy? What's so special about Italy? Start being a little bit disagreeable because now she's not gonna put you in that basket. If there's this guy that's just trying to get her, validation, that's just trying to win her over by agreeing over and over again. I mean, fuck it. Yo, start to curse in your interactions. Adding profanity helps to vary your tonality and it also creates that perception that you're not so nice. I even find an excuse to start telling the girl I'm an asshole whenever I can. If I say something and she looks at me weird, the Italy thing, yeah, look, I'm a fucking asshole. Can't help it. Transactional attitude. So you try to be nice or do favors for women in the hope that they'll like you or that they'll have sex with you magically. You create this agreement that the girl isn't actually a part of. Just because you listen to her complain or you bought her a drink doesn't mean that she's gonna like you. Don't try to weasel your way in by being her gay best friend, this emotional tampon for her, listening to complain about her ex-boyfriend or other guys in the hope that you can sneak your way in. Like that's how she's gonna see you, as this emotional tampon. It's not very attractive. It's not someone she would want to sleep with. So just cut out any of that behavior. Instead, understand what women find attractive. Show those behaviors and attitudes in order to actually have her attracted and wanting to sleep with you. You don't give someone a present in order to get a thank you. So don't be nice in order to get laid. Don't be nice as an agenda. If you're going to be nice, for example, if you're going to hold the door open for someone, then do it for everyone, not just the hot girl. If you're going to think in terms of transaction, then think about the value you have to offer. If you're relying on being nice, then it isn't very unique. Any fucking person can be nice. That's a really low threshold. Anyone can do that. But not everyone can put a girl on an emotional roller coaster. Not everyone can be amazing in bed. Not everyone can be confident and dominant. If you're gonna think in terms of transactions, then think about the value you have to offer. If you're just relying on being nice, then it isn't very unique. Anyone can pull out a chair or buy a girl a drink. It's not going to separate you from every other guy. Instead, put her on an emotional roller coaster. Display some dominance. Show her that you understand her on a deep sexual level. That's really what's going to put you in the top 1% of guys. And look, if you want to learn how to quickly develop this value, then join our mastermind. The link's below and you can get started right now. Pedestaling. You put her on a nice little pedestal, you're overly impressed by her beauty and status. Overestimating her prevents you from building an authentic connection in that early stage of the dynamic or the relationship because you aren't actually basing it on who she is. You've already made an assumption. When you do that, when you think that she's perfect, that she's the one for you, that there's no one else like her, you're gonna start coming off as desperate and needy, which will quickly ruin any interaction you have. And that's just gonna lead to this feeling of heartbreak because you've put her up here. You didn't end this interaction with someone that you were like, hey, let's just see what happens. You put her as this the most amazing girl. And of course now you're gonna feel heartbroken and miserable. It really comes down to a self-worth problem. When you don't recognize your own value, then most girls are gonna feel like they're out of your league. Instead, what I want you to do is realize that no matter how perfect you think she isn't. No one's perfect. Recognize that metaphorically, and literally, her shit still stinks. Don't let her looks or the amount of Instagram followers she has influence your thoughts about her right now. Don't have her living like fucking rent-free in your head. Time, energy, and attention is the biggest resource you have. So don't waste it on a girl that you haven't even got to know yet. Start to be more realistic. Use the word maybe. When you see a girl walk past and you think, wow, that girl's incredible. She's like exactly my type. Maybe she's exactly your type, you don't know yet. Maybe you go on a date with a girl, it goes amazing, and you're like, this girl will be perfect girlfriend material. Maybe. You just don't know yet. Even if you just want a fuck buddy, like you sleep with a girl one night from Tinder, if you're in the mastermind, you sleep with a lot of girls from Tinder, and you're thinking, oh, this could be a perfect girl that I see her. Maybe it is. Give it time. Like, you really don't know if someone's gonna make a great fuck buddy until 3 or 4 meets in. You really don't know if someone's gonna make a great girlfriend until maybe 3, maybe even 6 months in. There's things you just don't know about her yet. So catch yourself at the very beginning. You're gonna have much better subcoms, much better game if you're more in the moment with this girl. So stop future projecting. Stop thinking, oh, she will be amazing in, oh, I can't wait to do this with her. Stop, live in the now. So when there's an amazing girl, look, realize maybe she's not amazing as I think. Maybe she's more amazing than I think. You just don't know. So live in the now and don't build this up in your head. Lastly, it's also important to nurture your own self-esteem. You don't want to find yourself tempted to pedestal anyone ever again. You don't have to be as good looking as them. You don't even need to be as rich or successful as them, but you do need to have your own unique value that you can rely on. So you can follow our value exercises that we have and write down exactly why a girl would be attracted to you and really focus on that. So it could just be, let's take, for example, your empathy, your understanding of women. You listen to what they say and you can kind of figure out what they want. That's your value. Live by it. She can have more Instagram followers. Fuck it. This is what you have to offer. It might be your confidence, your dominance. It might be your successful career, whatever it is. You can focus on that. Now, it's a bit hard to just go through in this video. Maybe I'll do a separate one, or if you're in the mastermind, there's some exercises there. But really, once you start cultivating your own self-worth, and this is what a lot of this video is about, you'll stop looking at these girls and thinking they're so much better than you. You run out of things to say when you're with a girl. And it's not because you literally have nothing in your brain that you could possibly say. It's more that you're attached to this outcome. You're worried what the girl might think. This fear of judgment. Maybe it's not good enough. Maybe it's going to repel her away a little bit. You rarely say what's exactly on your mind. Women want a man that isn't afraid to say what's on his mind, even if it's gonna be a little bit offensive. So start by lowering your filter. Learn to say the things in a carefree confidence. That's what's gonna be truly attractive. You can even check out a video on what to do when you run out of things to say that's here on YouTube. It might help you a little bit as well. Not setting boundaries. This is the behavior that I think people don't even realize is happening. Because we think of the extremes. Maybe some girl comes up and like slaps you across the face, tells you to get the fuck out, and like you do nothing about it. I don't know, she spits on your feet. But it's more subtle than this. It's the idea that when you're in a group, a girl might make fun of you a little bit, or she completely ignores you, doesn't say hi. This is what you need to be really careful about. You can't put up with that. And oftentimes, you just rationalize it, you put up with it because, hey, you don't want to break rapport. You don't want to lose this girl. You're willing to do anything. I see this most commonly when girls are just constantly flaking, right? Yeah, look, I'll meet up with you when I get time, whenever I can. They flake, they flake, they flake. And the guy is still like, hey, just let me know when you're free. Yeah, I'll let you know. Zero respect. Zero respect. Like, you need to start looking at it probably less about setting boundaries and commanding respect. And thinking about it, people are only gonna treat you the way that you let them treat you. So have higher standards for how people should treat you is really what this should be. So think about it less in the negative of like setting boundaries, more in the positive of I'm only gonna let people treat me the best fucking way possible. So start standing up for yourself. So think about it as assertiveness training. Start standing up for yourself. Feel free to say no without having to give an apology or an excuse. When you need to go somewhere or decide on something, you start making the decisions, especially if it's with a girl. If a girl's like, hey, where should we eat? Boom, you're in charge. We're gonna eat here. Is that good for you? Perfect. This is gonna start being so much more attractive than the guy that just subtly lets women kind of walk all over him. You never make a move. So you avoid escalating on the girls that you like. You kind of sit in that friend zone a little bit, act nice and polite, and hopefully like one day something happens. Or if you do feel like making a move, it always feels like a big fucking move. And that's because it's usually been set that frame for such a long time. Even in these shorter interactions, if you're friendly and platonic for 10 minutes, it's now gonna feel like a big move to change that. Now, of course, this is normal. It comes about from that fear of rejection. But the problem is when you don't escalate, you come off as very platonic, you come off as a little bit uncertain, unsure, and you'll always be framed and put in that friend zone. And it's really hard to get out of that. So instead, stop hiding your dick. Women love sex just as much as men. And they love a man that can actually show that masculine sexual side of them. So if you feel like it's a big move, there are some ways to go about this. So we have our 4 pillars of escalation. So one of them is about making it smooth. It's about coming up with what we call like a compliance ladder. Is little small steps. So you're just moving one step ahead, one step ahead. So you don't feel like you're going from complete friend zone to I wanna fuck you. It's, hey, you go up and say hi. It might even be indirect or friendly. And then think about what's the first little step I can do to work my way to sex. It might be holding stronger eye contact. Might be smirking at her a little bit. Maybe lowering your tone. So now instead of just being friendly, hey, what music do you like? Look, hey, I got a question for you, right? Real quick, hey, come here. Tell me, what is the music you like the most? Now, that doesn't require you to fear failure. She's never gonna be like, what the fuck, I'm not into you, or some shit. It's just not gonna happen. But it's that first little step, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So that's gonna make it a lot easier from a technical point of view to start making that change from the friend zone guy to the more sexual dominant guy. Condescending mindset. And really what it is a lack of this understanding and growth mindset. What nice guys tend to do is they just assume women want like this nice friendly guy. They try to be that. And when it doesn't work, they become very resentful. And you see them on these like black pill forums saying they don't need women anymore and all this shit. If you're struggling to get girls, you do one or two things. You give up and you bitch about it, you act like a nice guy, or you objectively find out what you have to do and develop to be more attractive in the girl's eyes. Now, if you look at it through the frame of just trying to be nice, it's never gonna work. You have to really figure out what the value you have to offer the girls are gonna like. So as we mentioned before in this video, a lot of it is gonna be around that dominance, that sexual value, showing what you have to offer, being successful, being a leader. So instead, what you have to do is fix this mindset and overcome any programming that you might have grown up with. Every time you're in a situation where a girl doesn't find you attractive, instead of blaming her or everyone else, simply ask yourself, what behaviors can I improve? Just be objective. It's simple as that. Maybe you had to be more loud. Maybe that's all it was. Maybe you had to fidget less. Maybe you had to stand a little bit closer. Maybe you just told her nothing about yourself and were just hopefully like magically she just knew all the amazing things about you. So start looking at it objectively, fix your mindsets, and that's gonna help you so much. So what's the one thing that's gonna help you fix all these problems and get you into the position where you can actually start getting the girls you desire and you deserve? So as we found out, being nice, it covers up the rest of your personality. If you were just the nice guy, that's all you have. You wanna be well-rounded. You wanna be the dominant guy, the sexual guy, the fun guy, the funny guy, the guy that can lead, that can also be nice, but not just making that your simple personality. Now, you can follow all the steps I went through, but getting into a position where you're deserving of the girl, where you can develop your mindset and the skill sets needed, and ultimately have that well-rounded personality, it can be a little bit daunting. But don't worry guys, you don't have to end up like these fucking nice guys on these black pill forums complaining how they can never get girls. Even if you don't really consider yourself a nice guy, but you just want a more well-rounded personality that's gonna be more attractive to women, then I've got the thing for you. If you join the mastermind, we got a 2-week free trial. You can come in and we can go over all the points we spoke about. So there's actual personal coaching we can do with live streams. We have a bunch of content in the group as well. So we have step-by-step methods that have been tried by hundreds of students before that are fucking killing it. You can join the group and chat to them. And we'll talk about how to really understand your value, build that self-worth, how to speak to women, step-by-step process, how to start displaying that value, and then get to the point where you can have multiple relationships or the one relationship that you want, where you're in control, where you're not future projecting and she's walking all over you, where you actually have the control in that relationship with women that you want. So fuck it, be assertive. Go down, hit the link, join. It's 2 weeks, it's free. Check it out, you're gonna love it, you're gonna stay. And if you hate it, well, fuck you. No, I'm kidding. You're not gonna hate it. Join the group. All right, guys, if you like the video, hit the like button and you can subscribe. We got more content like this coming out. We're gonna start pumping it out a little bit more now. We've got hopefully a little bit break from coaching that we're doing now. So if you want more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll catch you next week. Peace.